episode of Virtual Coffee. My name is Alexa Collier, and on this podcast, I speak with and have virtual coffee with accomplished and innovative early career professionals and small business owners. So with me today are the founders of Teardrop Tap, Madison Page and Abby Christensen. Teardrop Tap is a trailer bartending service in the Minnesota area that travels for events and celebrations. Abby has experience in the health and beauty industry with expertise in merchandising, and Madison is a product marketing manager and also has experience in merchandising. And together, as best friends, they decided to launch Teardrop Tap. Their story is an awesome one to hear, and they also give some great advice throughout this episode. Now, before we dive into their story, I'd really appreciate if you could rate and review Virtual Coffee on the Apple Podcast app. It really helps the show grow and helps us get recommended to others who might be interested in listening to the podcast. You can also find Virtual Coffee on most major podcast apps, really wherever you listen to your podcast. And we're also on social media on Facebook and Instagram. It's at Virtual Coffee Podcast. Thank you so much for your support and happy listening. Let's dive into Madison and Abby's episode. Welcome, Madison and Abby. Thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Let's dive right in. So I'd love if you could describe what Teardrop Tap is to our audience and where did the idea come from?
Really, we started this idea this past November. Both Abby and I do a lot of trend research for our full-time jobs. And in that trend research, we were seeing a lot of retro trend come to life, especially in the 1960s teardrop campers. And ironically, my husband had wanted to build a teardrop camper to go camping. So the year prior, I had bought him a book on how to build one. And in November, we had gotten the idea that we were going to not build one for camping, but to start an events business. Obviously, COVID has not been that beneficial for the launch this past spring, but we're excited to launch for bigger events come 2021.
Awesome. How ironic is it that you saw it as a market trend and then also your husband wanted to start his passion for building one? That's awesome.
And also selfishly, I didn't really want to go camping in a camper. So really it was, how can you fulfill that dream while also fulfilling our dream of starting a business?
Very cool. That's an amazing compromise right there. I love that. Did either of you have experience with running or launching a business prior to founding Teardrop Tap?
We have not. So we both have, our 9-to-5s. We work in the beauty industry. So we haven't had personal experience with any kind of business launch within or outside of our 9-to-5.
Yeah, so we've had experience launching other people's businesses on our own platforms, as well as launching our businesses at retailers. So really have experience with that with our professional careers, but really not personally. So that's always been a dream of ours. I would say both of us are very bold personalities, really can't contain us inside the box. So really starting this business was fulfilling our dreams of doing the things that we want to do, on our time and how we want to do them.
What would you say helped you launch so fast? Because to me, I feel like starting this idea in November and launching it in August, July-ish, this summer, that seems pretty quick. Was it your 9-to-5 job, all your learnings from your formal education, all your experience with marketing and merchandising, stuff like that? Do you feel that helped you, or were there other factors in there as well?
I think just us being such determined individuals, we really, outside of our day jobs, we really at night focused our sole purposes on launching this business. And I know I said COVID was a negative thing for events, but it was a positive thing as far as giving us more time, when we really had nothing else to do but sit at home on our computers and really research and develop our business plan. Also, both of us attended University of Wisconsin Stout, which was a very hands-on education for us, which I think that a lot of our business capabilities we can attribute to them.
Awesome. Yeah. Seems you both have very valuable skills already to help launch a business and you were able to leverage those. So you two are really close friends, right?
Yeah, we actually, I can tell you a little bit of background, sorry, and how our friendship evolved. So like she said, we went to University of Wisconsin Stout, and we were actually at a basement party, and I just transferred, and we were at a basement party, and Madison was looking for a beer pong partner, and she literally just screamed in the basement, goes, I need a beer pong partner. Who wants to be it? And I was just like, I will. And she's like, okay, come on over. So then we played beer pong, and then literally we've been like inseparable ever since.
Yeah, I mean, even
awesome.
that night we had like already decided that the next year we were gonna live together, and yeah, really haven't been apart since.
Like we literally say we're instant best friends.
So then that kind of evolved for like, what kind of business do we want to start? So we really see ourselves as like the life of the party, and we love to host for our family and friends and really like create gatherings that create memories. Really, that's what Teardrop Tap is. We want to be part of your event that creates a special memory for you.
Oh, that's awesome. I love how that, mission of Teardrop Tap ties back to your friendship and your relationship. That's awesome. And so to get into a little bit more about Teardrop Tap, so it's this trailer that you can move from event to event, right? And then you just kind of set it up. Can people choose what type of taps are available, or, what are some of the logistical details of it?
So on the day, if someone says that they want us at their, block party, wedding, we just basically say we can do anything that they want as long as it comes in a keg. This also is for non-alcoholic. So we can do root beer, cold brew coffee, sparkling water has been really popular too. So that's another option. So for alcoholic options, we ask them to call our preferred liquor store that we work with, put in their order, they pay for it then, and then we pick it up on the day. We go set up the teardrop camper, we have the glassware, and then we're just there to serve and have some fun.
Yeah, so we provide all the bartending services. I know a lot of people right now are scared of multiple people touching things, but you can be assured that Abby and myself are the only ones touching any of the glassware, as well as any of the taps. So we like to keep people at a distance from the taps, except if they, want to take a fun selfie or something. But we really want to ensure that we're having cleanly sanitary measures.
Yeah, that makes sense. Have to do COVID best practices.
Yeah, as well as, if they are alcoholic options, Abby and I are certified bartenders, so that we have the ability to monitor, drinking pace so that it ensures a safe event.
Very cool. And I love that non-alcoholic idea too. I don't know why I didn't think Teardrop Tap did that, but that makes total sense. That could be so cool for like even kids' birthday parties. Like I could see them just loving like, oh my gosh, like root beer and like soda on tap. That could be very cool.
Yeah, we're actually going to our friend's son's first year birthday party in a couple weeks here on the 22nd. So obviously, I don't know if he'll remember the party much, but all his cousins that will enjoy the root beer that are a little older.
That's really cool. So I know you guys are in Minnesota. Are you in a specific area right now? Just so our audience is aware of, who Teardrop Tap is available for.
Yeah, so we service the Minneapolis, St. Paul areas, metro areas, but we also do, travel a little farther out of that. We may inquire a travel fee just based on how far it is out. But yeah, we're in mainly Minneapolis and St. Paul areas.
Yep, but we have gotten a lot of inquiries from like eastern Wisconsin, as well as like northern Iowa as well. So just to bounce off of Abby, we will travel that far. It'll just cost an additional fee for travel.
Yeah, so I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, but I work for Optum United Health Group, whose headquarters is in Minneapolis. So maybe I'm hoping to see you guys at a company party in the future, like when things open back up and are back to normal. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, my mother-in-law actually works at Optum as well. So
cool.
I will tell her to hire us. Work for the whole Optum crew.
That's very cool.
Maybe we'll be free of charge for her. I'm not so sure, but but yeah. So then you can see us there.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. I'll definitely keep you guys in mind when we're back over there. So you mentioned, you guys didn't have like launching a business experience specifically from the ground up. But I'm curious what advice you have for those wanting to start a small business. What have you learned in the past few months on this journey, or even advice you have from college or your 9 to 5 jobs and all the experience you have?
Yeah, I would say the best advice I can give is just to never give up. I mean, we've received you're going to receive so many no's before you receive a yes that you just can't give up. There's always going to be roadblocks in your way. Obviously, COVID has been a huge roadblock for us, and you just got to know that your ideas are valid, and obviously you have a passion for them. So just to continue on that journey. And also we've really enlisted the help of family and friends for things that we don't know. So just to always ask advice and just kind of tap into your network as far as, does anyone know a CPA accountant that can help us with small business taxes? And you'd be surprised at how many people will come out of the woodworks that can just either help you for free or just giving out advice. It's very encouraging.
Yeah. And I even had a friend actually the other day reach out, and he's like, hey, like, who's doing social media? And I was like, well, I'm just doing it right now. I'm just logged into everything and overlooking it all. And he's like, well, my buddy is like a really good like social media guru. And I talked to him and he said that he could give you some pointers. There's going to be so many people that you're connected with that have connections that you're just not aware of, that love the idea and that are willing to help you, since, small business can be tough getting off the ground, but you sometimes find support in places that you never even looked.
Yeah, I completely agree on that point. Great pieces of advice to, one, never give up, and then also like you're both saying, to leverage your network, because at first you might think that people don't want to help you without, a fee or a cost or a favor in return, but you'd be so surprised how many people do want to support you. And like you're saying as well, it could be a friend of a friend of a friend, right? And they're like, yeah,
right.
let's chat for 30 minutes. You can gain so much knowledge and help in just that 30 minutes as well. I think it's so helpful, even just to do a quick post on LinkedIn or reach out to someone randomly, and worst comes to worst, they say no or don't respond, and that's okay.
And we've also realized that LinkedIn is such an underrated area for social media. If you guys check out my LinkedIn, like I have over like 1.2 million views on my one post that I did 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Comments and likes and shares, and it's like overwhelming to see that. Like, I feel like Madison and I were like, shoot, we have something here. Like, this is, we just wanted to do as like a fun little side job hobby, but we're like, so many people love it. We've gotten so many inquiries like on our emails and stuff of people wanting to book us for corporate events, for their own personal events, like weddings, and we've gotten so much just from LinkedIn alone.
Yeah, so we were like not only surprised, but I swear every time I check it, I have goosebumps, because I'm just like, I didn't know LinkedIn was such a powerful platform as far as how many people it can reach. Obviously when you're not out looking for a job, you're not on LinkedIn as frequently. So definitely an underrated platform. So that would be another piece of advice for people starting a small business, is just post some fun things on LinkedIn, and you never know how many views you'll get.
Yes, a lot of franchise inquiries too. And I had a guy from the UK literally reach out, and he's like, this would be great in the UK. Like, would you guys be willing to franchise? And I was like, yes. I'm like, yes, we would like to franchise, but like, we just announced our business 2 weeks ago. We need to like focus on the here and now in Minneapolis and grow from there. But it's really awesome to think like, wow, yeah, we should franchise this, and we should do, XYZ just from other people's inquiries, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible. Congratulations on that. That's
Thank you.
So awesome. Yeah, and even if, you don't want to take that opportunity right now, who knows, in 4 or 6 months, you now have that person in your network and you can reach back out, and I'm sure they, would be happy to do it then. That's awesome. Yeah. And that's how I found you both, was on LinkedIn. I think it was Abby's post just came across my feed randomly, like maybe because I'm connected to a lot of people in Minnesota, I'm not sure, but we weren't connected before, and I was like, oh, would love to chat with them and have them on the podcast, and here we are.
Yeah.
So kind of a different question here off that path. I'm really interested in hearing how you both balance working full time and launching this brand new business. Just any tips and tricks, or would just love to hear your thoughts on that. Has it been difficult, easier than you thought? Just any thoughts you have on that.
Yeah, so obviously with us just launching 2 weeks ago, we're still trying to find that balance. Luckily, Abby and I are both very hardworking people, so I mean, we will go to the ends of the earth to get something accomplished. Also, us being very honest people with, ourselves as well as each other. We don't really typically get into many arguments that can't be solved like immediately.
No, we don't even argue.
Yeah, we don't really even argue.
So like we're so blunt with each other. I'm like, Madison, that's stupid. And she's like, okay, well,
yeah. And then how do we make it so that we, both can be happy with that? Right now we're trying to, set kind of some boundaries for ourselves as far as balancing the 9 to 5 and our business. Really, if you email us, you'll pretty much be seeing emails at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Yeah. So we're trying to balance, during the lunch hour, before and after work. So if you're not getting responses from us, wait for them then. Yeah. But also we do value, our free time as well. Both of us play on the same sand volleyball league nice. Every Monday night. So we do take time for ourselves to, sit back, relax, have fun, as well as some, activity as well. So we do try to maintain fun in there too. Otherwise, if you just have the full business mindset, then how can we make our event business fun if we're not even having fun?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point of you need to be enjoying your life and you need to be happy so that your business can be happy and you can put the right energy into that. And I was going to ask how it has been working with your best friend. And it just seems, even just talking to you for just 20 minutes now, it seems you two are very aligned, very honest with each other, like you were saying, which I think is great when you're in a business relationship with someone who you're also, in like a personal relationship with. So you two seem very, very aligned. Any other, advice with working with a best friend, or has it been pretty seamless for you guys?
I mean, Madison and I are very much alike in a lot of ways, so it works. But also, the advice I would give is before you start a business with your friend or anyone in general, like write down a business plan, do market research, make sure you guys are both on the same page in your business plan because it'll make it a lot easier. We did so much research, and even the design of our tap, we probably changed our mind 5 different times on colors, on the type of style. Well, we always wanted the teardrop, but like the different style, like, do we want the wood frame here or do we want like just around certain spots? So just basically just being completely transparent and upfront right away and making sure that you both agree with the business plan, I think is very crucial.
Yeah. And also to add on to that, to like communicate to the deaf. You can say something once and assume someone is on the same page as you, but that may not be the case. Like, for example, my husband was the one that built this for us. And sometimes there might have been miscommunication between Abby and I to him as far as, what vision we were having. So really saying it once, saying it twice, saying it 3 times to really drive in the point of like what it is that you want. Because there can be miscommunication when you're moving so quickly.
So being very, very clear in what you want, what you're thinking, what the vision is. And then also seems an important piece of advice is kind of solving those upstream problems and figuring out those upstream details, like with the business plan, so that kind of will avoid downstream problems or issues that might pop up. If you're aligned at the very beginning, chances are you'll remain aligned throughout the entire journey.
Exactly. And writing the business plan, you get into so many details as far as, what is your pricing going to be? What is your advertising strategy going to be? How do you determine this as successful? At what point do you move on to plan B? So it kind of gets all those questions up front and answered so that you're not coming to them when the problem occurs.
Right. When you're in crisis mode, you're solving them before you're in that problem. Yeah. So where are you hoping to take Teardrop Tap? Do you have specific goals for the business? You mentioned franchising at some point. We spoke about this a little bit, but just interested in knowing, where your minds are at with the business.
we really want to be top of mind for any event that you host. And we not only want to host one event for you, we want to host future events. If you get married, we want to be at that event. Then you have a baby 2 years later, we want to be at your baby shower. So we really want to be top of mind in the Minneapolis market for if any of your friends or family are hosting an event or a corporate event. We want to be part of all of that and be all encompassing. Also, when farmers markets open back up, we want to, bring the tap on a, cute Sunday afternoon and sell you some cold brew coffee. So we're not only at those events hosting to, catering needs, but also selling right on the go. And that's kind of, a marketing plan as well.
Yeah, and I would say definitely open to franchising down the line and also even consulting. Like I've gotten so many inquiries from other states that are like, hey, I've been thinking about doing this. Like, how did you do it? And I think, people are looking to us for a lot of knowledge. And I think, we'd also be open to consulting in the future too.
Yeah, that's a unique offering. That's a great idea. I also like how you mentioned farmers markets, and I could also see, Teardrop Tap almost partnering with like local cafes or local breweries or something. And then you have that partnership, right? You have the advertising from that cafe or that brewery, and then you're serving it. That's an interesting idea too. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And so we want to partner with other businesses as well. And like I mentioned before about, reaching out to friends and family that have business knowledge, we also want to be advocates for small businesses and helping those others as well. So like, for example, our logo is designed by our friend Amanda, who owns a graphic design small business. Our photos that we recently just took were taken by our friend Brooke, who owns a photography business. So we really want to focus on helping our business help other small businesses as well.
Right. And not just with the drinks as well. Like you're mentioning the logo and the photos, there's many other types of small businesses you can support while launching your own.
Exactly. And like for events, we really want to partner with, florists to obviously make our tap look the best that it can. And, maybe different lighting studios. And there's just a plethora of opportunities out there for partnering with different businesses.
Yeah, even like balloon businesses or something like that. Yeah.
Already awesome. Here. Yeah. Obviously, that's a more of a large chain, but
very cool. Yeah, tons of areas of opportunity here. I love that. So we talked about Teardrop Tap's future. I'm interested in hearing about your futures. And do you see yourselves taking Teardrop Tap full time? Like, is that the dream, or will this pretty much remain a side, small business, see where it goes while you both still focus on your quote unquote 9-to-5 careers? Where do you see your futures?
For me right now, I mean, Madison and I both agreed that we want to do this as like a side job, but I mean, if it blows up and we get a ton of inquiries constantly throughout even the weeks, not just the weekends, I could see myself definitely taking it as like a full-time. Yeah, right now it's just our little fun part-time, but I would be definitely open to having it full-time, especially if we do get franchising and we do start consulting. That is going to be a full-time job. That's something you just can't do on the side. Mm-hmm. So I would be definitely, more than interested in taking it down that route too. I think it'd be so much fun.
Yeah. And with the amount of buzz and inquiries we're already getting, it's obviously we're a little overwhelmed at first and very, very humbly honored by everyone's excitement about it. We are trying to get to all the inquiries as fast as we can. But I could easily see this in the next year or so becoming our full-time job. I think when we first started this, we were thinking, maybe a 5-year plan would be to take this full-time. Yeah. But I think that based on the buzz and compliments and feedback we've been getting, it's seeming like it might be, a year. So especially with everyone pushing all their large events to 2021, I think that we might be fully booked in 2021, which would be the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, that would be so awesome.
That's incredible. How awesome is it? Yeah, you're planning for 5 years and suddenly that might become 1 or 2 years to go full time. That's awesome. What a great feeling that must be. Congratulations on all that success.
We're just like, it'd be fun to like do like one event a week, or like if we get something here and there, like that would be cool. But now we're like, we could full steam ahead on this. And
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and even to like, our future with this would be to, I know Abby mentioned franchising, but we also potentially, even here in the Minneapolis market, want to launch more Teardrop Taps, that might be either different color schemes or maybe different focuses. Maybe one's smaller to fit into smaller size events, or one's larger to fit at, I don't know, could go to US Bank Stadium, to a Vikings game, etc. So we are trying to figure out that focus as well, because we have had multiple event inquiries on the same day. So it's hard to, obviously we're going to go with the one that books first, but we would love to be able to go to both. So if we had multiple taps, then we could easily do so.
Yeah, I love talking to people such as yourselves who have this business where there's just so many options where you can take it, right? Like you're mentioning, we could franchise in the UK, or we can do different themes, and suddenly you could have 20 Teardrop Taps, right? And like one's a kids theme, one's a football theme. I don't know. It's just so many ways you can go. And that's like, it's just so cool to see. And I'm just so looking forward to seeing where it ends up and where you take it.
Yeah, we're excited too. I feel like right now the world is our oyster.
Yeah.
Cheesy cliche as that sounds, but yeah, we're just excited to kind of get it going, and how everyone else is excited for us too.
Yeah, we're mostly excited to not keep it a secret anymore. Both of us are not the greatest people at keeping secrets. More myself.
Don't put this on me.
We're going to be honest. We kept this a secret from a lot of our friends, mostly because we just wanted to see the surprise on their face when it was finally finished. It's one thing to tell someone you're doing something, but another to be like, no, I did something and this is what it looks like. And to see that reaction. So it was great to see that reaction from, a majority of our family and friends. So I'm glad to not keep secrets anymore and for it to be out in the open as like an actually launched business.
That shock value is always nice, right? To see that. With talking to you and hearing your journey, it also seems you both really manage your expectations appropriately. You mentioned you planned out 5 years, and I love that balance of, hey, we have this dream of taking this full time one day. Let's manage our expectations and say, okay, let's plan for 5 years. But you also didn't say, oh, there's no way we could ever take this full time. This is just always going to be a side project. You had that appropriate expectation, so that now that it seems it is possibly happening way earlier than 5 years, that's an awesome thing. That's, you're prepped for that already, and it just happens to be earlier, which is a great thing. I just love that how you manage those expectations.
Yeah, I would say we're like a good balance between like dreamers as well as realists. So, obviously the dreamers being the creative side of us, planning and launching this business, but the realists as far as like knowing where it can go and not getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, realistic dreamers. That's always the phrase I love to use. And I think that's such a valuable and powerful characteristic to have, to be that realistic dreamer. Do you have any resources top of mind, like podcasts, books, blogs, anything that has helped you launch this business, or, even with your expertise in merchandising, just any books you'd recommend, like I said, or podcasts to those launching a business or wanting to dive into this world?
I would say neither of us are very big readers. So I don't have any books to give out or recommend. Really much of our focus this year, and obviously last, has been really managing, our day jobs as well as launching this business. So we really haven't had time for much else.
That account for anything.
Right. We do love The Bachelor and Bachelorette. So sorry for everyone that does hate those shows. We mostly like it because sometimes they're a train wreck, and it makes us feel better about ourselves. But yeah, sadly, we don't have any good recommendations for at least like business podcasts as well as books.
And I think too, like Madison's 9 to 5 is lots of marketing and a lot of market research and design as well. So I think that also helps with just knowing how, just how to kind of do that and market out our business. And I do a lot of research as well, more of competitive analysis type things. So I think that's where those two things definitely helped us out with launching our business.
Right. You leveraged the skills you already had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. And we did talk about this before of balancing, 9 to 5 and managing a business. Any other best practices that you've acquired either recently or have been doing for a while now of balancing work and life? I know you mentioned, I believe you're on the same volleyball team, so that's a fun thing you do. Anything else for balancing the go, go, go of work and also taking time for yourselves and your family and friends?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying because we're getting a lot of inquiries and it's really exciting. And, you always have to put that expectation out of you don't want to burn out. So you don't want to, constantly be looking at your phone, constantly answering emails. But, I had a full day of stuff yesterday that I did that I just literally took my phone, turned off my email notifications and just, flip my phone upside down so I didn't see the screen. I just put it in my purse. So I think just having a balance where that you have plans with friends and just turn off the notifications, because if I see notifications, I'm the type of person that hates notifications on my phone. I hate having the
there
little
can't
red,
be an email. I gotta read it if I see
have the red bubble on like an app or anything. I don't know why it irritates me. So like LinkedIn, when it started blowing up on LinkedIn, I turn off my LinkedIn notifications because I just kept looking at them and I was like, no, I need to focus. I need to be with my friends. I need to, get this product done at work. So I think just turning off the notifications on your phone in general will help you a lot when you want to have a break.
Yeah, and I think just being present in where you are and what you're doing has to be a focus. So, if you're with your friends or family, that has to be the main focus. That's where you are, that's what you're doing, and what you're choosing to spend your time on. So there's a time and place for everything. I think a really good reminder of having to take a break is my dogs. They always come and they're like, hey, I need attention. We need to go for a walk. Mom. We need to take a break.
Biscuit starts barking.
Yeah, my dogs will be barking and giving me sad puppy dog faces. So I think really having those reminders of, it's time to take a break are great reminders, as well as I know some people, this is a love-hate thing, but I love the screen time thing on your phone. Yeah, and so it kind of helps me manage no, I've been on my phone way too much today, whether it was checking emails or, social for our page or etc. And I really need to tone that down.
Also, I will add too, Madison's husband, Louis, who built this for us, he has this thing where if I'm over at their house and I'm on my phone I could be doing work stuff or anything, he'll literally take my phone, chuck it on the couch, and he'll be like, be with us, get off your phone, be with us.
Yeah.
So that's also a little thing that Louis does when I'm around or any of our friends are around. He'll just take your phone and throw it on the couch and be like, stop, be with us.
Yeah, he's really about being in the present moment. So he's also a great reminder of to not take things so seriously and that, you need to take time for yourself.
My favorite.
That's awesome. He's everyone's accountability partner for being off your phone. That's great. Yeah, I love the best practices of being present, of course, turning off notifications and the screen time. I love those because those are very specific, easy things people can experiment with if they feel they need to have time off their phone. I love that. Even just I haven't even thought of this until you mentioned this, but even just going on do not disturb or something, right? Just so your phone doesn't even light up. That's an easy practice too. And that's one button to click.
Yeah. Or leaving it in another room helps me a lot. I'll leave it somewhere that I don't want to go, all the way downstairs, in the laundry room or something. And then I have no idea where my phone is for, hours on end. So that's also helpful.
And then we have to call it. And then you're like, but it's on vibrate. And I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not so beneficial. But maybe it's a place you can find it.
Yeah. But I might find my phone on, your friend's stuff or something.
That's awesome. Yeah, that also happens to me a lot. My phone's always on silent, not even vibrate. So if I lose it, it's just gone. It's just gone until we find it.
That's a dangerous game you play.
I know. It's a risk I take every day. I also your best practice of adopting a dog. I think everyone should do that listening to this. Adopt a dog so that they make you go on a walk and put your phone at home. I think that's
100%. Yeah, I mean, Abby has a cat. She wanted your phone away too.
Yeah, she'll walk on my laptop, or I'll be on my phone and she'll just rub her head up against my hand. I'm like, can you stop? Then I put it down because she's annoying, and then I'm like, well, that's good.
So really just having anything that demands attention, whether that's like a significant other, a child, a pet, etc.
Yeah.
Well, all of the above.
Get yourself an annoying boyfriend. Get yourself an annoying husband.
Just have a kid.
I didn't say annoying. I just said needs attention.
I'll say it.
Oh, that's so funny. I love it. Awesome. Well, my last big question for you both, and I definitely want to hear from both of you on this, is in this moment, what is your proudest accomplishment? Now, this can be related to Teardrop Tap, or doesn't have to be related to that at all. Can be from 10 minutes ago or from 10 years ago. In this moment, what is your proudest accomplishment?
I would just say, this is Madison, I would say for both of us, our proudest accomplishment is launching this business. When we first started it last year, it was a dream, and obviously this is our first go at being business owners. So, we did experience a lot of ups and downs, and not a very emotional person, but I can say this definitely took a toll on all emotions, that being sad, mad, overly happy, excited, etc. So it's definitely been a roller coaster. So it's made me become more in tune, I would say, with my emotions, and like being able to like speak those out loud, which has been great. Obviously, that's more of a personal thing than a business thing.
But that helps you grow personally.
But that helps. Yeah, exactly. And then also just kind of all the buzz that we've been getting. Abby mentioned that we've seen over 1.2 million views on our LinkedIn. We already almost have 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
In less than 2 weeks. So really kind of those little milestones, if you will, have been great accomplishments along the way. So I don't know if Abby wants to add to that.
Yeah, I would say also it's made me more like cognizantly aware. Is that I don't know. Cognizantly? I don't know. I'm awful with words. But just being more aware of, before I would go to the store and do this, or I would, be more of like a big name brand, go to, some, not necessarily chain restaurants, because Minneapolis has a ton of great restaurants. No, but just more aware of where I bring more attention to in my business. Because now being a small business owner, it's like, support us, like help us, like we want to work with you. So I think that's made me more want to work with other small businesses and give them business over someone else. So I think that's also made me more aware of,
being a better consumer in general.
Yeah.
As far as like, really being an advocate for the businesses that we like and appreciate, writing reviews. I could say I've never wrote a review until, recently in now wanting reviews from our customers. So really you got to practice what you preach. So if we want our customers to do something, we also have to be that way to the places that we love and frequent.
Yeah, and collaborating with a ton of, like, we've had so many small businesses in Minnesota that are like, we should collaborate. We love this idea. We own a little like food cart, and we do, food truck and like these little things. Or I also have an old coworker that they have a business called Mini Oats, and it's just like a small oatmeal, startup with the 3 girls that started it, and they're doing great. And they're like, we want to partner with you and do something fun.
So like a breakfast bar. And
so it's like a little different things like that where you can make it fun. Like it doesn't always have to be about business too, where just, let loose with it. Like people start small businesses to have fun with it. And I think that's what, we need to do. And that would also be another thing of advice, is just to have fun.
You guys could do a cereal bar with the milk coming out of the tap. Now I'm giving you ideas you didn't even ask for. But
oh my God, actually that'd be a bomb idea.
Yeah, milk and cookies.
Yes.
Yeah, or even donuts and milk and coffee. Yeah.
We're all disappointed that the Minnesota State Fair is canceled this year. RIP. So, if Sweet Martha's is listening, we would love to partner with you. We could be the milk provider.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen through this podcast. But congratulations to all the initial success you've had, both with the business and personally. And I know it'll only grow from here. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to see where Teardrop Tap goes. And I'm hoping, some of my Minnesota connections through work hear this and reach out. I think I'm just really excited to see where it goes. And it was so awesome to hear both of your journeys and how you launched this business. And thank you so much again for taking the time to share your experience.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, before we sign off here, where can people find Teardrop Tap and yourselves on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn? Shout them all out.
Yeah, so LinkedIn, you can go to mine, Abigail Christensen. And then also we have a LinkedIn page for Teardrop. And then any social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything is Teardrop Tap. So just find us there and we'll be keeping updates. And when we start events, we'll be posting those as well.
We also have a website at teardroptap.com. It's currently under construction right now, with just recently doing a photo shoot with our fabulous friend Brooke. Shout out. We will be, posting some more content there soon. So that's really kind of more of a shell of a website right now. But you can also email us at hello@teardroptap.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Perfect. Well, I hope everyone checks out Teardrop Tap, and thank you, Madison and Abby, for speaking with me today.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you.